Hello everyone, welcome back to Kandeke Chess. Let me just set up something. Alright, so we are back to the game. So today I'll be showing you the game that I played. It is a classical game. I was playing as black, unfortunately, in this position. So I'll walk you through this game. I'll take a close look at the move order that I followed, breaking down my thought process move by move, and highlighting where I played accurately. And also I'll be saying where I missed some chances if something like that ever occurred in the game. So without taking much of the time, let's begin the game. The game began with d4, we had d5, c4. So after I saw c4, this is one of my craziest opening that I can recommend to someone who could ask me for an opening that they would like to employ. This is the Queen's Gambit. So the Queen's Gambit, I know the idea that after c4 has been gambited, so white is forcing you to take it. But it is better for you not to take, because if you take, you should know the prep or you should know your theory very much. So in this game, I played e6, just declining the gambit. So knight c3 came on the board. So at first when I saw knight c3, the guy was following the principle of the Queen's Gambit, declined. So he was expecting this. I was much aware because that is the top move recommended. But I diverged a bit by playing bishop to b4. So bishop b4 came on the board, e3. After bishop b4, he played e3. Knight f3. So let's see the thought process that the guy was following. So I would rather prefer the bishop coming out of the pawn chain and play this. This looks somehow a bit better. But in the game, he played e3. I played knight f6. So now see what has happened. So you can notice that I was waiting for white to close this, knowing that white could love to play bishop here. Bishop coming to g5. That is the top move that the engine recommends. But after I played e3, I said, wow, now I can play the knight here because I don't have bishop g5. So that was the thought process. So e3, knight f6, f3, challenging my bishop. So I just took the bishop, I just took the pawn or the knight, b takes the c3, c6, solidifying the pawn chain, c takes d5, c takes d5, c4, challenging the pawn chain on the center. Yeah, because this pawn you can't just let it to stay here. You can, it's a backward pawn, so by all means you can trade it for the center pawn. It was just on the right track. So here I just did short castle. So this is the opening phase of the game. Yeah, we are entering into the middle game. C takes d5. So after c takes d5, I had options of taking with the pawn, with the knight, and with the queen. So these are all candidate moves or potential moves that I could make. So one thing I noticed, if I take with the pawn, I'll create an isolated pawn that will be on d5 and I have to defend that pawn with all my pieces. I didn't want that. So it was also good to take with the knight. But one thing I noticed, it will be chased. So the last option was taking with a queen, and that was what I played in the game. So queen takes d5, knight f3, b5. So what I saw was, after he played knight f3, he was preparing to castle. And me, I wanted to make bishop queen battery eyeing this diagonal, which was a good idea, but the computer preferred b6, because let's see, after I played this, it was prone to attacks. Anything can come, yeah, like this, and if you advance, you can advance also. So the pawn will be overextended, and we talked about overextended pawns that they don't actually go anywhere if you have observed. So after b5, he played bishop d3, I played a6. So defying the pawn, short castle, bishop b7, rook e1. So rook e1. So here I was just maneuvering the pieces. So the move that I was supposed to play is this. This was the juicy move that I was supposed to make. And after doing that, the intention was coming here, removing this from the defense of the pawn that is on g2. But I missed that. In the game I played queen h5. So after playing queen h5, the computer even said it was an inaccuracy. So the computer recommended knight e4. So after knight e4 and bishop f1. So bishop f1, trying to protect this. Trying to protect the pawn that is on g2. Okay. Rook c8. So just bringing the rook to the open file. So knight e5. So this was the sequence that was supposed to be followed, but I didn't follow it. So I missed knight coming to e5 and I played queen h5. So after that, e4 came on the board. I allowed him to start even pushing. Rook d8. Rook d8, attacking the queen indirectly. So bishop b2 came on the board, defending the pawn. Knight b to d7, f4. So after f4, b takes f4, rook takes f4, and I played a sharp move, bishop c6. So the idea behind bishop c6 is if you take, I'll take, and when you take, I'll take on the center. That was the idea, but that didn't happen in the game. The guy saw it, so he played rook a1, retreating the rook, bishop b5, bishop c3. So after playing bishop c3, I played another good move, rook d to c8, bishop b4, and I played a good move, or a sharp move again, f5. So after f5 was played, so if you take, I'll take, and when you take, let's see, so if you take, I'll take, and when you take, I can attack this square with a lot of pieces. Yeah, that was the idea. But let's see if this ever happens. Actually, I can take this. That was the idea. So this will remain undefended, and the attack is on two pieces. So the idea was, if you take, I'll take this, and when you take, I'll take this, and this is also defending. You have no time to capture. Let's see, if you take, I'll take this, and when you take, I take this still and capture bishop again. That was the sequence. So he saw that and he played bishop e7, bishop takes d3, queen d3, f4. So now I started advancing the pawn. So the pawn that was not captured started now marching to become a superhero. So rook e to c1, I took the rook, rook takes c1, queen f5. So queen f5, preparing to push this pawn until queening. So after that, queen c4, h6. So instead of playing h6, I could have just pushed and kept on pushing. This was the way to go. That's what the fish had recommended. h6 was played. Bishop takes f6, which was an inaccuracy. Knight takes f6. Queen c6. And I started pushing f3. Knight e5, inaccuracy. The best, instead of playing knight e5, was just to bring the rook here and start thinking of how to defend this position. Maybe with this coming here, and if this is pushed, you can defend. So instead he played knight e5, I pushed a2, rook a1. So the difference is now the rook was on a1, and if my queen ever enters this diagonal, it will be challenging the rook. That was the problem. So rook a7, queen c8 check, king h7, the room that I had earlier created. After he played knight c6, I played a sharp move, queen c3. So queen c3 was attacking the rook, as we had said that the white queen needs to watch guard of this diagonal, and he forgot about that and left this diagonal, and that is how he resigned, and I won the game. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.